If you've ever found painting fur tricky, I've got a super simple and beginner-friendly technique that makes painting fur quick, easy, and enjoyable, whether it's wolves, beasts, or even fur cloaks. This is the same method I use to paint this wolf pack, and it's great if you're a beginner or you just prefer not to spend hours on perfectly smooth transitions. By the end of this video, you'll see how to get great looking results quickly using just a dry brush and sponge. I'll demonstrate this on dark brown and white fur so you can use it on your own projects right away. So let's save you some time and smash out this fur. Starting off, both wolves are prime black, and I'll start with the brown one. On my wet palette, I have a dark brown, light brown, off-white, and black. These are the only colours I'll need for both wolves. For this method, I'll be using a large dry brush, not for dry brushing. Instead, I'm using it for wet blending, but not in the way you might think. I'll get into that shortly. For the base coat, I start by thinning down mahogany with a little water and loading it into my brush. These brushes hold a lot of paint, so I'll remove a good amount of this excess paint on a towel to avoid flooding the model. I'm slapping this all over the wolf. I'm working quick, just making sure it's got solid coverage and I'm hitting all the nooks and crannies. The goal is to lay other colours over the top while it's still wet, and that bit of water I mixed in earlier helps keep it wetter for longer. While the mahogany is still wet, I rinse out my brush, then dry it on the towel. Once most of the water's off, I load up the light brown and start dabbing it straight into the wet mahogany. I didn't thin down this light brown with any water, and that goes for the other colours I'll be layering on top. The mahogany base coat already has enough moisture to help thin and blend these extra layers as I go. I'm hitting the sides of the fur here, pushing the paint up into where I want to build out the lighter areas while keeping the top dark. I'm letting it roughly blend in with the wet mahogany underneath. As I go, the brush keeps picking up more of that base colour, so the more I paint, the darker it gets. To brighten it back up, I just wipe off the excess paint on my towel, reload with fresh light brown, and keep going. Next, I'll add some lighter textures. I rinse my brush out, dry it on the towel, then mix a bit of light brown into the ivory. And again, I don't need to thin this with water. I'll dab it onto the most exposed areas where I want the fur to be brightest. Again, I'm mostly focusing on the sides, kind of towards the middle sections of the fur. There's no right or wrong here, it's just where I thought it looked good. You can use real dogs like German Shepherds as a reference if you want, but honestly, all of the wolves I've painted have slightly different fur tones and patterns. That's what makes this fun. You can experiment and go with whatever feels right in the moment. Now I'm adding some darker patterns using tenebrous grey, but you could use black here too. I clean out my brush again, dry it off on a towel, and load up. I'm lightly dabbing it along the top of the spine to create a dark line running down the back. I want this to be the darkest part of the fur. From there, I add more patches in a few other places, behind the legs, around the shoulders, near the paws and tail, just to break it up and give the fur some interesting variation. I'm not really blending here, I'm just gently pushing the paint on. In some spots it might mix a little with the layer underneath, which looks great. In other spots it stays patchy, and I actually want that. That rough, uneven texture helps sell the fur. So yeah, even though this would be considered wet blending, I'm not chasing smooth transitions. You've probably noticed by now, I'm mostly just pushing paint around. It blends where it wants to, and where it doesn't, you still get that cool natural pattern. Once I'm happy with the pattern placement, I'll let it fully dry. You'll notice it's looking a little flat. That's because the raised sections of fur still need some highlights, and for that I'm swapping over to the good old makeup sponge. Mine's just slightly damp, just enough to stop paint drying inside and to help with blending. With the sponge, I mix some ivory with a bit of light brown and wipe most of the paint off on the towel. The way I can tell I've got the right consistency is by dabbing it on my glove. I'm looking for that patchy dotted texture, almost like stippling, that tells me the paint isn't too wet or runny. You don't want it coming off too easily either. A bit of resistance is good, it helps the paint only catch the raised fur and avoids flooding the recesses. From there I gently start dabbing this over the lighter fur. You don't need to be super precise here. Don't worry if a bit lands on the darker spots. The next step will tie everything together. To finish it off and add some extra tone variation, I rinsed out the sponge and mixed mahogany and light brown at roughly equal parts to make a mid-brown. Just like before, I wiped most of the paint off the sponge. I want this layer to be a bit more transparent. When I dab it on my glove, you can still see the previous layer showing through, like it's just tinting it. I'm applying this in between where the light and dark fur meet, which helps create a quick gradient between the two. I'm still using light pressure, so it just catches the raised areas. Doing this makes it look like everything's blended in with barely any effort. You can also do these highlights with a dry brush instead of a sponge. The results are pretty similar. I just prefer the sponge because it gives me a bit more area control, and I like the texture. And with that, the brown fur is done, but while I'm at it, I'll quickly knock out the face as well. Some wolves have dark skin tones around the mouth, so that's what I'm going for here. I'm using the Tenebros Grey that's already on my palette to base coat inside and around the mouth. Then I grab some ivory and pick out the teeth and mark out the eyes too. After that, I'll grab a bit of pink, mix in a touch of Tenebros Grey to tone it down, and use that for the tongue. I didn't nail the eyes on the first go, so to tidy them up, I went back in with Tenebros Grey and painted the eyelids, turning the white blobs into eyeballs. You can always push the details further if you want, especially on the face. But for now, that's it for the brown wolf. Time to move on to the white one. For this white wolf, I'm using the same method, just swapping the colours. I start by base coating the whole model in a mid-grey. To get that, I mix a little Tenebros Grey into ivory and thin it with some water, roughly the same consistency as the brown wolf. This one's pretty straightforward. It's just a simple gradient from white on the top to dark at the bottom. Since there's no pattern on this wolf, it's a lot quicker. Once the base coat's on, I start layering ivory over the top, just like before, while that grey is still wet. For the lower sections, I grab Tenebros Grey, and I roughly push that into the lower areas to build some shadow. I'll let that fully dry and then switch over to the sponge, same method as before. I grab some ivory and start dabbing this from the top down, gradually applying less pressure as I work into the lower sections of the fur. This might take a few passes to build it up to a solid off-white. I even let some of it hit the dark areas, because just like the brown wolf, it's only going to catch the raised fur. The gradient underneath does most of the work here. But anyway, that wraps up these two wolves. Same technique, different colours, and you can push it even further by playing around with your own colour combos or patterns. You could try cooler or warmer tones, even add spots or stripes if you want to get a bit creative. Massive thanks to all my Patreon members. You're the reason I can keep making guides like this. If you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe. And if you want more tutorials like this, including how I painted the wolf guard, check out my Patreon. There's heaps more content up there if you're keen. Anyway, hope this helped. Cheers for watching.